What if the problem is not only how much sugar enters your blood, but whether your cells are actually ready to receive it? Because that's the question most people never ask. They track what they eat, they cut carbs, they check their numbers, but something still feels off. The energy isn't there. The fog doesn't clear. The weight doesn't move. And here's why. Blood sugar isn't just about how much glucose gets in. It's about whether the door to your cells is even open. Think about this for a moment. Your body runs on glucose. Every cell, every organ, every thought you have today, it all requires fuel. And glucose is that fuel. But glucose doesn't just float freely into your cells. There's a process, a communication, a switch that has to flip for energy to actually happen. When that switch works properly, you feel sharp. You feel stable. You feel like yourself. But when something disrupts that communication, when that switch gets stuck, the glucose stays in the blood. Your cells are starving for energy while the fuel is sitting right outside the door. And this is where so many people get confused. They're told to focus only on what goes in. Less sugar, fewer carbs, lower the spike. And those things matter, don't get me wrong. But they're only half the picture. The other half is what happens after the glucose gets in your blood. Whether your body knows what to do with it. Whether the switch actually flips. If this sounds familiar, if you felt that disconnect between eating right and still feeling drained, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. And whether you know someone who has struggled with this too. Here's the myth most people carry. Blood sugar problems are just about eating too much sugar. It's a clean story. Simple. Easy to repeat. But it misses something fundamental about how your metabolism actually works. Your body uses a hormone called insulin to act as that key. Insulin is released when glucose enters your blood, and its job is to signal your cells to open up and absorb that glucose for energy. When insulin works efficiently, the whole process flows. Glucose in, insulin signals, cells open, energy produced. Clean and fast. But what most people miss, and this is where it gets genuinely interesting, is that insulin sensitivity isn't fixed. It can shift. It responds to sleep, to movement, to stress, to the foods you eat in combination, to how often you're asking your system to respond. And over time, when the system is overworked, cells can begin to respond less efficiently to insulin's signal. The key is still there, but the lock has changed. This is the hidden side of metabolic health that most conversations completely skip over. So here's the real picture, the full circuit. Glucose enters your blood. Your pancreas releases insulin. Insulin travels to your cells. The cells receive the signal. The glucose enters. Your body converts it to energy. That's 5 steps. And a breakdown at any one of them can change how you feel, completely, even if your diet looks fine on paper. Now, this is where it gets fascinating. Because researchers have been studying specific compounds found in plants that appear to support different parts of this circuit. There's a compound called berberine, found in several plants used for centuries, that has been studied for its role in supporting healthy glucose uptake at the cellular level. Some researchers describe it as working along a metabolic pathway that helps cells respond more efficiently to the signals they're already receiving. Then, there's cinnamon extract, and not just the spice in your cabinet, but concentrated forms that have been studied for their potential role in supporting how the body processes glucose after meals. And there's chromium, a trace mineral that plays a supporting role in how insulin interacts with cells. None of these are magic. None of them replace a healthy lifestyle. But they've become a growing focus in metabolic research precisely because they address something most people aren't thinking about. Not just how much glucose enters, but whether the cells are ready to use it. That's the switch. And that's what most conversations about blood sugar never get to. Here's what this means practically. If you've been doing the right things, watching what you eat, staying active, getting your sleep, but something still feels like it's not connecting, it may be worth thinking about the full circuit, not just the intake side. Supporting metabolic health means supporting the whole process, the signal, the response, the conversion. Not just the number on the glucose meter, but the experience of actually feeling like your energy is yours. Again, There are formulas being developed around exactly this kind of research, compounds designed to work together to support the body's natural ability to manage glucose at multiple points in the process, not as a treatment, not as a replacement for medical care, but as a tool for people who want to support their metabolic routine thoughtfully and intelligently. The difference between managing blood sugar and actually thriving metabolically is often found in the details most people overlook. And the switch, that cellular communication, is one of the most overlooked details of all. If today's video helped you see your blood sugar picture in a different way, if the idea of the switch makes sense to you and you want to learn more, and check the first pinned comment below. There you'll find more information about the support option connected to today's topic, the ingredients, how they work together, and what people have been saying about their experience. Because once you understand the full circuit, you start asking better questions. And better questions lead to better outcomes. Take care of your metabolism. It takes care of everything else.